So it's my second day coming down to the allotment. It's such a nice day. It is absolutely, sun is shining. It's absolutely such a nice day. I think it's going to hit about 25 today, so it's going to be really, really nice. So I've come down here early. Vince came down here this morning and dropped some cardboard off and put it in the shed and put a padlock on the shed. And I've bought some landscape fabric that we had just at home, and I'm just going to use what we've got to try and cover some of the ground, just to stop any other weeds coming up that might come up. So I'm going to do that first thing. So this is the cardboard that Vince dropped off, padlock on, and I've just got a few pieces of landscape fabric. I don't know how much it's actually going to cover, but I'm going to try and do this bit for sure. So I'll just try and flatten that as much as I can, just this corner. This I'll just leave. We're going to need to take that to the dump, and I'm going to try and do some of this end as well, because this we're going to need to remove and flatten down. Same with that bit. So I'm just going to do the bits that I can do and just go from there. Trying to get this root out. It is so deep. I think this is probably why there was so much black plastic and covers over this area, because these roots obviously are quite big and go quite deep. Okay, here we go, let's go. Okay, so this corner I've covered with cardboard. This was the worst corner, because this was the one with like the brambles. So this was the one we thought we'd concentrate on. So that's all the cardboard done. So I'm now going to try and cover some of that area with the black landscape fabric that I've got. So the camera turned off because I think it was just too hot. It's really hot today. The sky is absolutely amazing. I'm actually the only one down here. I've not seen one other person. So I've managed to cover this area with cardboard. So that I was worried more about the brambles coming back through. This pile all needs to be moved into that dip, but that needs to go to the dump. So this area I managed to cover with the black landscape fabric that we had, plus I used a bit of the stuff that was left over. It had holes in it, but I just covered it over, I just folded it over, and then I just put some stones that were here and some of the old pallets. So hopefully that will just help us a bit with limiting the weeds that are growing back, just for the time being. I mean, there is a whole section that isn't covered, but at least those 2 bits are done for the time being, and that was just using stuff we already had, which is why we just did those small bits. We already had the cardboard and we already had the landscape fabric, so the little and often you do, I guess that helps. So I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I'm actually thinking now about moving the shed maybe to this bit, because I think that's going to have shade pretty much all day. But then so's that bit. I think the main thing is to just get it cleared and get it ready before we start worrying about things like that. But it is fun to plan.